Community service was always a critical part of my family experience, and it was during my formative years that I really decided that public service was my calling. My dad was the director of a neighborhood center in Metropolis. Mom was a Vista Volunteer in Service of America, and they came together to make a difference in their community, and they went door to door, knocking on doors, raising awareness and bringing people together so they could be part of the solution, they could be part of government, they could be part of the community. I know in my heart that that's what brought my mom and dad together. LBJ's War on Poverty brought them together. And if it weren't for that inspiration, that moment, that hard work, I would not be here. I wouldn't be here. But I now have an opportunity to make a difference, and I'm going to take it. Poverty didn't characterize my entire childhood, but we went through some humble circumstances, and I can tell you this, I know what it's like to have to rely on a well and to use an outhouse, and I know what it's like to go to school with holes in your shoes so big that all 5 toes of yours stick out, and that was part of my formation, and it made a mark on my soul that I won't forget. It was always sort of this guiding star, get the best education that you can, no matter what. Somehow, I was going to get there. It didn't matter what obstacles, whether I had transportation, whether I had shoes, didn't matter. Whether I was working late that night, no matter how tired, how exhausted I was, I saw that North Star, and I was going to get there. Giving back to my country that gave me so much, was something I just had to do. My dad was a Marine. My cousin was a Marine. Was carried out of the rubble in Beirut. Made the cover of Time magazine as a result of a terrorist attack on the Marine barracks. That's me getting my first salute from my dad as a U.S. Marine. So this is my dad and my grandmother as a U.S. Marine coming home back in the late 50s. That's a special photo for me. I'm going to heed the call to service, and I'm going to put myself to the test and go through that crucible and be ready to make whatever sacrifices my country asks. The balloon had just gone up in Iraq. I was on deck to potentially go. I was assigned to base at the time, so no one knew exactly what was going to happen, who was going to go where, but we knew we were going. We knew we were going to war, and we also knew the baby was coming.
Absolutely terrifying.
Right.
Because you never think that you have to manage that you have to prepare for that. Terrifying.
I know now that I am trained, I am capable, I am ready. I feel an obligation to make a difference in this community, to fight hard every day, to alleviate suffering, to create opportunities for other people, to make a change in the scope and scale that I know that I'm capable of, and that I hope you want in a state representative, somebody who's not afraid to fight the fight, who's not afraid to get in the mix, who's not afraid to stand up and make a difference.
Yeah, well here, you're looking at Rico, and here's someone who clearly has a tremendous resume. Harvard, UT for business, law degree. And then after all of that, he goes and he joins the Marines. And in my family, my mother will tell you, she and my father had a deal. He stands for the Eyes of Texas, she stands for the Marine Corps, him. And so I have a tremendous amount of respect for the Marines. Here's someone who's smart, here's someone who cares about his community, who cares about people, and who cares about sitting down and really figuring out how to make this community better. Not just about having public, sort of holding public office, but about actually coming up with creative solutions, trying to do something. And I think he's, his heart's in the right place. He really, really cares, and his enthusiasm is overwhelming. Sort of talking to him about his story and how it's, I think, a reflection of exactly the sort of thing my grandfather wanted to see, just makes it that much more compelling.
Healthcare and education and giving people the opportunity to live their dream and have an opportunity to go out and get it if they so desire. That's who he is, and so it was never really a discussion. It was Okay,
You ready?
if this is what you want to do, then let's do it. It's who he is. He's loyal. He will go to the ends of the earth, and do whatever he has to lift somebody up.